Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Next Team Cricket, episode 5. So, we are just off, or rather, we just finished watching the day 5 of the World Test Championship final, and in fact, it's actually just 2:08 a.m., the time of recording. And today, I have with me the usual trio myself, Vikas, as well as Yash and Arjun. So, what a day of Test cricket!
It was an amazing day. It's full of entertainment. Pretty much
Yep.
kept me on the edge of my seat, to be honest. I mean, I
Yeah.
really do not like. I don't remember the last time in recent terms where I've actually watched a Test cricket from like the first ball to the end of the day, and now we are immediately talking right after it. I guess that sums
Yep,
up the beautiful day of cricket we've had today.
definitely. I think it's been, engaging day overall, where right now all three results are possible. But I want to take a step back and take it session by session. So we can maybe start with session 1. So I think New Zealand started the day slightly on top, 101 for 2. And of course, we pulled the game back nicely with them ending lunch on 135 for 5. So, Yash, what do you think of that? What do you think of our bowling performance, and what do you think of their batting performance in that session?
I think in the opening hour we were still lacking quite a bit because the partnership between Taylor and Williamson was flowing pretty well actually in the opening hour, and we just struggled to get or really even trouble the batsmen, I felt. But then after the opening hour, I don't know, something else clicked, and then Shami and Ishan both had brilliant spells, which got
Yeah.
Ross Taylor, Nichols, and what a ball for Watling, I have to say, Shami.
Oh, that's an absolute peach.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a beautiful in swinger. So we definitely had a really good session. I think in that session we would have ideally like one more wicket, but considering how the session went, I think it was definitely a session which we hope we would have gotten with, and we got a great session, especially as an Indian fan, you know. So I think
Yeah.
it was a good session for India, but then New Zealand, of course, did bat well, but then they lost their momentum. I think once they lost the three quick wickets, they lost a bit of momentum, but then gained it back in the next session, which we'll talk eventually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Kane started off his innings really slowly, especially in session 1. I thought we were on top generally. I think myself and Arjun were watching it together, and we always felt like we were on top of New Zealand in that particular session, especially. We had our line, I think our line and lengths were impeccable. Generally, we actually troubled Kane Williamson a lot, actually, which was a rarity. I mean, throughout his Test career, definitely,
Yeah.
but I mean, especially in this Test match. And yeah, I thought we were hitting our line and lengths from the get go. Arjun, anything to add about session 1?
Yeah, I think when we got those few quick wickets, Williamson he had to kind of play a bit more conservative, and he had to adapt his role and be the anchor for New Zealand. And I think his performance was the standout as you usually expect from him. And India did well to pull themselves back into the game, especially in session one. It could have
Yeah.
gotten away from us easily.
Definitely.
Well-
So, okay. So, let me just make a quick turn into session 2. So, we just started session 1. We are on top, 135 for 5. What did you guys think was score New Zealand would end up with?
I mean, to me, after the way the session 1 ended, I just wanted to actually just include one more thing. I felt that Williamson was just trying to unleash his inner Pujara and show that he's a Pujara's fan by heart.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, moving forward to session 2, then I think I did realistically see us maybe getting like 5 wickets in that session, because we had like I think 8 to 10 overs to go before we were going to get the new ball. So
Yeah.
I thought we would get the 5 wickets in, but then I think one thing which I was a bit disappointed with in the session 2 was that we allowed a lot of freebie runs, I think, especially when
Yeah.
Kyle Jamieson
Yeah.
came on. He basically, I think his intent was quite clear that he wanted to go all out, and I think we didn't bowl particularly tactically against him, especially, which gave them a few runs. But then
Yeah.
when even after Jameson went out, the tail enders actually caused a lot of problems for us. They were there for quite a while, and in fact the lead which New Zealand got was purely from the tail enders. So as a
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a
Definitely.
yeah, and as an Indian fan, I think that's the disappointment in that sense, because we could have gone into our batting with at least maybe 10 to 15 runs of lead, I felt. But I guess the silver lining is that at this moment still that the game is still evenly poised, so it won't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, were you guys surprised that 114 runs were scored in that session? Like, after you saw how New Zealand, 101 to 100, they scored 34 runs in one session, and the next session
Yeah.
they scored 114 runs,
Yeah.
which was
It's quite
Yeah.
surprising to me. I thought we would maybe go for the jugular at the end, at the start of this second session, sorry. And yeah, we kind of lacked a bit of intensity coming out. And yeah, we, like Yash said, we gave a few freebies to them, and I think that allowed them to settle themselves. And Saudi's cameo, I mean, at the end of the match we might look back on it as a defining moment. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me personally, three things stood out to me in the session. One, firstly, was our extras. I think we were giving away a lot of no balls, which was
Yeah.
something of a rarity, and a lot of buys as well. I wouldn't necessarily blame Rishabh Pant, but I mean, these are extras, which when you compare to New Zealand is a lot more. And if, let's say, we were to cut down on those extras, the lead wouldn't even be 30 runs. It could be like 10 runs.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
And in the grand scheme of things, that could be a big difference. Right now, we would be sitting on a 50-run lead, but we'll come to that soon.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The extra count was something that I was quite concerned with. Next, I also was not really concerned per se, but I was quite impressed, and I did expect this from New Zealand's batting. They batted really deep. There was a big difference between both the teams. I think we lost our wickets in a span of 10 minutes, like the last 3 wickets especially.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if it was 10 minutes.
For
probably
4
lesser
runs,
than
I
that.
think we lost it for 4 runs
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. Very disappointing. And honestly, it's not like our lower order can't bat. I mean, it's not their job to get the runs,
Obviously, yeah.
but you've seen Shami and Bumrah and even Ishant, actually, they can hold a bat, and in the modern day, you do see these tail-enders contributing a lot more. So
Yeah.
that was that. And I think the third observation, which obviously, which is the most obvious observation, was Kane's fantastic innings. So I think Dinesh Karthik had a quote in the match. I'm not sure if it was a tweet or was it a commentary quote, but he said that if he were a cricket ball, compared to Kohli and Williamson, he would rather be kissed by Williamson's bat. And that's the way Williamson was batting. Which was, it was a masterclass in batting, which I personally
sure.
felt. Because the thing about Kane, it's really difficult to get him out because he plays with such soft hands and he tends to rotate the bat, if you guys notice.
And it's very late
before
as
he
well.
actually-
He plays it so well late
Exactly.
that the edge almost comes out of the equation.
Exactly, correct. So he is very, and he concentrates so hard every ball. It's so difficult as a bowler,
Yeah.
So I thought he was a class above everyone else. And I don't know, were you guys surprised by him getting out in the manner he did at 49?
Yeah.
I guess Arjun, you can go first.
Yeah, maybe just a mental lapse, and at that point, yeah, he's batting with the tail, so he perhaps wanted to take on the responsibility of scoring. Yeah, but yeah, it was a bit of surprise to, I think, all of us that he went out in that manner. Because until then, I don't remember him playing like a false stroke, anything major. He didn't really give any chances to our bowling until the delivery. So yeah, I kind of feel bad for him. But obviously, as an Indian fan, I was relieved to finally see him go because
Yeah, for
he
sure.
could have really hurt us.
Actually, to be honest,
Definitely.
now that if I look back at the innings, I would have preferred Williamson to take strike because he wasn't really scoring that many runs, So we could have maybe had like 10-15 runs lesser. But anyways,
Yeah, but I think, jokes apart, I think he was the glue
was,
for the
definitely.
innings, like Pujara in Australia,
Definitely.
Like everyone was playing positive cricket around him.
Yeah.
Be it De Grandhomme, Kyle Jamieson, and a few cameos from Saudi
Definitely.
and even Bolt for that matter. So yeah, I mean, it was really good to see, and I think one aspect I think both teams actually excelled in was the fielding. I think the fielding
Definitely,
standards were
yeah.
really, really
It's
high.
very high.
I think, yeah, I don't recall a catch being dropped, which is
There's only one, I think.
Only
Yeah.
one
Team Southie
instance, I
dropped the
think.
catch in the first innings.
Yeah,
But that
that's
was
it.
I
okay. I mean, it's
I don't-
expected. You're probably going to drop one or two in an innings, especially in the slips because it's really so close and it comes at you very
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that drop actually, personally. But okay, I mean, for me personally, when I'm still looking at India's fielding, if you guys recall, in Australia, we actually dropped a lot of catches.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's improved a lot.
And it's really improved. I think it's
Yeah.
something we are always good at, but I think it's something we need more consistency, and we've shown that, especially out in the field in the first and second sessions. So I think we can move on to the last session, which was us batting. So 64 for 2, end of stumps. Thoughts, guys?
I think
Even, very, very even.
I would say yeah, it's even, but then I am little bit disappointed that we lost Rohit's wicket at the end because see the way I see it as is that even though there's a very slim hope for India to win, we can still win this test. And the only way we can win this test is if we score runs. And I think New Zealand showed us in the second session that it is very much possible to score big runs in quick session, like in a session, quickly as well. Because all you need to have is positive mindset, and if you have a positive mindset, you can score runs. And tomorrow the forecast is also pretty sunny, so it's going to assist the batting a lot more. So obviously,
Yeah.
when it comes to us bowling, it's not going to favor us. But then, just speaking as a realistic thing, that if we manage to get a decent target, maybe I don't know what, maybe 200-ish. Let's say a lead of around 200-ish in about 45 overs. So we are having a 32 lead now, right? So in 45 overs, probably 172. You probably have to go at 4 runs an over or something. But then if you have that lead, then New Zealand will come in tomorrow thinking that maybe they can chase that lead, and they might go and take a few risks rather than just trying to play out for a draw, and that might give us an opportunity to actually win the test.
Personally, I do not see us. Okay, first of all, okay, I think we will come out with a positive intent tomorrow. Firstly, but having said that, I do believe that 170, 180 is going to be, if we were to set such a target and we declare, let's say this is considering like the
Yeah.
best case scenario for us, like we play well enough and we declare. I do believe that 170, 180 is something that New Zealand won't be chasing, and they're probably going to look to play out for a draw.
Yeah, I mean,
So
realistically, the
I would-
logically result is definitely a draw. But then, if you're looking as a more optimistic, how do I say, view from an Indian standpoint, there is that slight hope that if you tomorrow come out, like tomorrow morning, first session, set the tone and play really slot of aggressive cricket, then anything's possible. I mean, even in Australia, who thought that the Sydney Test, which we could have won, apart from if Hanuman Vihari did not get injured, we probably would have won that test as well. And we all know what happened at the Gabba, which nobody thought would actually happen. So it just gives me hope as an Indian fan. But I'm not getting too ahead as well. Like I know that a draw is probably a more realistic approach going forward here. But we also need to make sure that we can't score like at a very slow rate from going forward, because if we have a collapse, we are in deep trouble.
Yeah. Arjun, what about you? What do you feel?
Yeah, I think I agree with both points that you guys made. Obviously, we've had a history of pulling off miracles recently. I hope that we can see something similar tomorrow. But yeah, I think a draw is the most realistic result. We will probably try and score runs quickly in the first session. And like what you said, I think New Zealand scored 114 runs in the second session. Was it? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
then yeah, I don't see why we can't give ourselves a chance. I really don't see why not. And
Yeah,
we have the players to score quickly. It's not like
And
You know,
New
Kohli
Zealand
will-
technically scored with their tail enders as well, if you look at it, like Colin de Grandhomme.
Yep.
So it's sort of like all roundish. So we have our specialist batsmen still yet to bat. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a opportunity for Pant and Jadeja to show how important they are to the team. And of course, with Kohli at the crease, we want him there as long as possible, because as long as he's there, he's gonna we know how he plays. He's busy. He's always looking for the hard singles, and yeah,
Yeah.
he'll keep the scoreboard ticking. So yeah.
Personally,
there
I
is
feel
some
like, I feel that Pujara has a big role to play tomorrow, especially because we saw how with Williamson, with them scoring 114 runs, Williamson was at the other end.
Yeah.
He was, I guess, steadying the ship at one end where the other guy could play freely. And typically, if you look at our batting lineup, everyone else is a stroke player. Be it, like
Apart
you
from
guys
Rahane,
mentioned,
probably.
Kohli, Pant, Rahane, maybe okay. But Rahane can be a stroke player if you give him the freedom to.
Definitely.
Yeah, and if Pujara plays that knock like what we saw at the Gabba, which allowed Pant to play the way he did,
Yeah.
I do believe that we have a good chance. But personally, I feel that we need to give ourselves 1.5 sessions at least
Yeah.
to bowl them out. To bowl them out.
I mean-
and I do see Kohli going for the win, even if we do risk a loss. Like I mean,
Yeah.
It's a
I
final,
can see
we
him
have to go for the
giving
win,
exactly.
I think
can-
that's the mentality that you need to have.
Yeah.
I think playing for a draw actually makes it more likely for us to lose in a way. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but on a pitch like that, playing defensively for too long is a risk.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather see us come out in the first session and play
Yeah.
our shots.
Yep.
I think we've talked what the possibilities are. I also want to talk about, do you guys think that there might be some assistance for the spinners tomorrow, especially?
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
It'll benefit us definitely if there's some assistance for spinners. Then Ashwin and Jadeja will really come into play. But
Yeah.
I mean, we won't know until tomorrow. I'm just hoping tomorrow that we come out with all guns blazing. I honestly don't know what's a realistic total on this pitch. But if I'm just breaking down the overs, we have 98 overs scheduled to play tomorrow. I don't think we'll get all 98. But let's say if we do have if we get at least 90 overs, then we should definitely be looking to play at least 40 to 45 overs, and then
Yeah.
trying to bowl New Zealand out in probably, you could technically say, a one day. So
Yeah.
it does look like a one day equation. And I think it's from the Indian players' perspective, it's all about positive visualization, and we know how into Ashwin is into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I also felt that
Meditation is-
when Kohli came out, just like his cameo in like last 15 minutes, he was looking to play the strokes on the leg side. You could see he was trying to
Yeah.
find the gaps. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he sort of told his guys as a mentality, said that tomorrow we have to do more of this. We cannot just stay
Yeah.
low block. If we're going to stay low block and we end up losing wickets, we are in deep trouble.
Definitely. I think me and Arjun were actually thinking that they might send a night watchman in. But I think the commentator was saying that Kohli was leading the way in saying that I am the guy, I am the man, I'm going to
Yep.
face the last 20 minutes and show the way, And
Yeah.
I think he did. Barring a few half chances,
Yeah.
but I think more or less he was quite rock solid and quite positive, like you said.
Yeah.
And before we conclude today's show, I just want to get some predictions for day 6. I think we've never heard of day 6 in Test
First
cricket.
time
but,
ever in the history of Test cricket.
Oh,
Yep. So day 6 predictions. So what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel the match would actually end?
Oh, it's a very tough one to call, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm gonna go for a draw. But if that first session we come out and score 100 runs or something, then I might just want to shift towards, give myself a little bit of hope that maybe India might be able to pull off another Gabba miracle.
Okay. Arjun?
I think after what I saw from Kohli, like what you said, instead of sending a night watchman, he came in to bat himself, which I feel like on the mental side of things is like a statement of like some kind of
Intent.
statement.
Statement of intent, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that that we are here to win, and yeah, I would expect nothing less from a side captained by Kohli. So I would say, I would agree that it's probably going to be a draw, but I have a feeling it's going to be a nail biter where New Zealand are chasing maybe like a 160 and they fall just 15 or 10 runs short.
Yep. Okay, for me, I personally feel that we are going to get all out tomorrow, but we're going to go out all guns blazing. And I think it's going to be an absolute cracker because we're going to I feel we're going to get all out somewhere in between the second session. So that gives New Zealand a slight chance of going for that 150, 160 total. So I expect us to be somewhere around the 180 and 190. So
All
from
out?
there, it'll, about there. So that'll be like a 150, 160 run lead.
I think that's
So that sets the matchup perfectly, and I think we're going to have an absolute cracker. But we're going to struggle to get them all out because I think the top order is full of quality.
Definitely.
it is.
I think getting two players, especially getting Kane and Conway out. I think this will be the number one priority, but I think that's much later on after we set the target. But yeah, I think that's about it for.
I would just
my
like to add
prediction.
one more thing. We should send the Chennai curator in to change the pitch to make it spin tonight, so that tomorrow it will help us.
Definitely.
Yeah, but let's hope that the Indians start off the fourth innings with much better lines and lengths. We cannot afford
Definitely.
to give them the start that we give.
Yep.
Conway and Latham. If we have any chance, we have to get them out early. Especially Conway, he's the danger man. I think your form players are always your biggest match winners in these kind of games. So yeah, hopefully.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, so I think with that, I think that's our conclusion for day 5. And thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube. And the links for our respective channels are available in our Instagram bio at the Next Team SG. And thank you so much if you've been following us for the past couple of days. And we hope to bring you the final review of day 6 tomorrow. So stay tuned. And thank you so much for your support, guys. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.